My coworker tried to steal my promotion, so I let her fail publicly. I work in marketing at a mid-sized company where competition for promotions is brutal. Last year, I was up for a senior role along with another woman named Rachel. On the surface, she was nice. She complimented my outfits, brought me coffee sometimes, and pretended we were friends. But I started to notice a pattern. Whenever I shared ideas in meetings, she'd bring up something similar a few days later and pitch it as her own. At first, I thought I was imagining it. Then one afternoon, I was in a private meeting with our manager, discussing a new campaign idea. 2 days later, Rachel presented that exact same idea in front of the whole team, word for word. My manager looked at me like he was trying to figure out if I was the one copying her. That was the moment I decided I wasn't going to play nice anymore. I started keeping everything to myself. No more casual chats, no more shared notes. I worked quietly on my own projects and made sure every document I created had timestamps and version history saved to the company drive. Then I waited. A few weeks later, our manager announced a presentation for a new client pitch. Whoever impressed the client most would get the promotion. Rachel immediately volunteered to lead it, saying she already had a strong concept. I offered to help with supporting materials, which she gladly accepted. She didn't know I was watching her every step. I noticed she barely did any actual work. She'd spend most of her time chatting or scrolling through her phone, while I built the slides she claimed she was making. Then, 2 days before the presentation, she came to me in a panic. Her laptop had crashed, and she said she lost everything. She begged me to share my files. I smiled and said I hadn't worked on anything related to her project. Which was true, technically. The slides I had made were for my own backup version. The next morning, she scrambled to recreate her pitch. I could tell she had no idea what she was doing. She stayed late in the office, pacing and muttering to herself. I stayed quiet. When the presentation day came, Rachel went first. Within 5 minutes, it was clear she wasn't prepared. The client kept asking questions she couldn't answer. She fumbled through her notes, got key details wrong, and eventually just stopped talking altogether. Then my manager turned to me and asked if I had anything to add. I opened my version of the deck, the one I had actually perfected, and calmly walked the client through the plan from start to finish. The client loved it. After the meeting, my manager called me into his office and said he was impressed by how well I handled myself. The following week, I got the promotion. Rachel didn't say a word to me after that. I didn't gloat or rub it in. I just showed up the next day, sat at my new desk, and did my job. Sometimes revenge doesn't need to be loud. It just needs to be earned.